Hi everyone, I'm Princess Style, and this is an instructional sign video. This is really only for hearing people learning sign, or I guess deaf people learning ASL, maybe, who don't know it. Not really for deaf people, so I will be speaking more than signing as I do this. Um, so, how my idea for this video comes from a friend of mine telling me she needs help with signing, and we were working on directions. Um, that is personal, I should say, directions. I don't think that's what it's called. I don't remember the name. But the point is, um, in sign, a lot of hearing students don't know when they start that some signs are directional. And that means that they change a little bit um, depending on who is doing them. I'm just going to stop doing that now. So, who's doing them? Which means it's positional, is what it is. Your position is the position you start from as the signer. And then if somebody was on your left, right, in front of you, kind of sort of between your left and in front of you, or between, it's kind of like a compass. And the more people in the group you're talking to, the more like a compass it gets, because you have west, east, northwest, northeast, straight north, and then you even can have things in between northeast and north and with the degrees. That's helpful for you at all, maybe get a compass or a picture of one and just imagine people at the different points if you need a visual. Or I'm going to show you. So, for example, there's the sign tell. Okay? So, tell is very simple. It's just your finger on your chin going forward. And this means I'm telling you, because it's coming from me. But if I was saying that you told me, you being the person right in front of me always, I would take it and I would go down to my chest. You told me. If I told, say, Sharon, and Sharon was on my left, which will look like right to you, I would say, I told Sharon, and I would turn, told Sharon. Or if I maybe wouldn't turn my face, but I would turn my hand. I told Sharon. If Ian was on my right, your left, I'd say, I told Ian, and I'd point towards him. Say, Chris was between you and Ian, a little bit more this way, but I'm still not going to point directly at you. And then if the person was behind me, I basically just point to them, because I'm not going to completely turn around clearly. So I just point and say, I told them, or just do the sign. I probably wouldn't even bother going, because that looks like something completely different. It's that simple, right? But I thought it might make this easier to remember to put it to music, since I do like to use songs, as you know, if you watch my channel. And I think it's a great way to remember this. And it turns out there's a lot of songs that actually are very good for signing, showing, demonstrating signing principles. I talked about how I did hot and cold, and that was great for comparison. Also, girls like, boys like, the Teen Beach Movie was another good one for that. I'm sure I've done some songs that were good for time things, that I could probably think of a song just for that sometime to do. So for this particular concept of direction, I thought of the song Drama by AJR just because the chorus was just perfect for this. You may not like the song, you may not know it. I'm only going to use the chorus for this part. But if you would like to see me do the song completely, leave a comment below and I could put that on my list. But for now, I'm just going to use the chorus. All right, before I actually play the music, because it's very fast, I don't know it that well, honestly, but I just thought it's just perfect for this. So it goes, he said that she said, that we said some things that you wouldn't believe. He said that she said that we said that he said some things about me. What's great is that we have all four directions here if you assume that the two he's mentioned are two different people. And I'm going to because it's more useful. All right. So I'm going to give you an example of a couple different ways to sign this. I would say there's one that's more technically correct, but because I want to show you different directional signs, I'm going to do, I think, 3. All right. First one. Said. This is one that will not change, but you will have to point to people, so it technically still a directional thing you have to think about. So I do want to show it to you anyway. He said, she said, we said things that you wouldn't believe. He said, she said, that we said, that he said. So there the direction is just me pointing to the person because this doesn't really, you can't really change it. It has to be going from you for you to change it. So that's an easy way to do it, and that might be the way I would sign it in an actual translation. However, I think a more correct way to say it would be informed. Because in sign language, the difference between said and informed is you said something, you just said it. It wasn't necessarily informational. While informed is you told me this information. And for gossip, I'd say that's more accurate. You could do told also, which I already showed you. But I believe informed is better and it honestly looks cooler. So this will be a little trickier. So he over here said, and you have to now really think about the logic of the lyrics because he said to who, right? It doesn't actually say in the song because in English you should be able to figure this out. But in sign language, you'd have to specifically show who he was talking to. And it was clearly me, the person singing, if I was the person singing, which I am. So he, and so informed goes like this when you're just doing it. But when you're doing it from another person coming to you, you take it and then you point it back at you like this. He informed me. Now, I haven't seen people be too specific about where they point their hands once they're pushing them back, but the point is that you start your mind and your heart really saying that you got it in both places, which for gossip is certainly the case, right? So he informed me. I would still point, by the way, to establish that I'm talking about a person over here. If I just did this without saying pointing, it would just be kind of random. Like, what am I talking about? You know, information didn't just come to me from nowhere. It came from a person. However, once I've already established that he's there, I do not need to say that he's there again unless I want to. You're just supposed to remember he's on this side. All right, and then she, I decided is on this side. And I mean, I could stick with the names. I already forgot some of them, but say Ian's on this side, Sharon's on this side. Okay. So he informed me that she said, now who did she talk to? Him. So she did not, I'm not going to go me to her. I'm going to go, now she informed him, and I'm gonna like move it from this side to this side. She informed him, my hands. She informed him. Now again, I do not have to point to him again once I've established that he's there, but I do have to point to her because this is the first time I'm mentioning her. So she said, she informed him. All right, we said. Now, I don't know in the song whether we means a whole bunch of people or just two. I'm going to say just two for now. We. So you could do this, we, if you're talking to the person across from you, or you could just do a general we, me and another person. It doesn't really matter for the sign. So since I'm talking about me and somebody else, I'm just going to do informed. I'm just going to like slide it across, but I'm not really going to point it at anyone specifically because the song doesn't say to. So just we said some things that you would not believe. And here I would have to be sure to point to you to make so that you know I'm saying you wouldn't believe. All right, and that's the first time that they say it. And the next time they had one more person. So I would do he said again, that she said again, that we said again, but then he said, and I'm going to say this he is this direction. Not who I'm talking to, but they're just standing over there that way. Like I'm like, he said, gossip, right? So he said, and he was talking to me because according to this girl, I and this other person said that he told us something, right? We said that he said. So we said, and since it doesn't say who we said it to, then like, yes, we said. Or